Good morning. It's day 3, and firstly, yesterday was like nothing else. The 3-year vision from Tableau, developers on stage, and they were just showcasing feature after feature after product after. It was nuts. And then the sessions during the day. Wow, those were great too. So yesterday probably ranks right up at the top as one of the best days I've had in conference. That includes Seattle and Las Vegas. So all out amazing yesterday. So that means today's got a hard act to follow. Now, what today has running for it is the party, the Data Night Out. So that's a party that Tableau puts on every single year, midway through conference. A good way of having fun, socializing, and just getting together with all your friends and the community. I've also got a full day of sessions set out, so that's going to be cool. Getting more technical today, looking at a lot of the developer track. And then this morning we've actually got the keynote from Shankar Vedantam from NPR. So these keynotes are amazing. These are guest speakers, come from other sort of science and technology backgrounds, some authors sometimes, and essentially they just talk about data in a really exciting way. And some of the speakers in the past have been absolutely amazing. I personally love Neil deGrasse Tyson, so I'm hoping Shankar delivers this morning. The keynote's actually in about 50 minutes, and I'm still in the Airbnb flat, so I really need to get going, otherwise I'm going to get an awful seat. Today's going to be jam-packed. I'm going to try and record as much of it as I possibly can, and I'll see you soon. Also, I completely forgot, this guy is President of the United States.
Hiya. How you doing?
Tablau's wide world of data, Iron Viz.
Okay, so the Data Night Out was great. It's 10 o'clock. I think it's just ending, but I left a little bit early because I've got a session first thing tomorrow that I want to be sharp for. But Tableau did it again. They put on a great party, festival atmosphere, great setup, great food, great music, obviously great people. all together in an amazing sort of space that really lends itself to that. It was great. They even had a roller disco inside the event center. They even had some smoked barbecue stuff being done outside. They did some whole sort of setup with these colored trees. The gig was awesome. The band was really energetic, really lively. The highlight of today was the Tableau lab. It was just amazing. So basically the Tableau lab was this setup where they had devs around the room who all build different parts of the product or are developing different parts of the product, and they basically had something to show you, and they'd show it to you, and then having seen it, you then get to give feedback. And showing it to you before getting the feedback provoked you to think about the tool in a really, really interesting way. So I really enjoyed it. I gave lots of feedback about dashboards, actions, filters, reference lines. I even got some business cards to continue the discussion later on. So absolutely loved it. I also went to the Expo Hall 1, and looked at the mobile development stuff there, having had that conversation. And again, lots of great feedback about rolling out Tableau Mobile for enterprise, a few tweaks they can make to it to make it a little bit easier to work with, and also some of their thinking. Because you see, the thing is, when Tableau build a product, the developer is in the tool. They have a vision for how the tool should be used. But of course, we all get the product and we follow the user manual. And sometimes between the developer, the designer, the user manual, and you playing with it, the actual intention of the tool changes. And so, for example, favorites in the mobile app. Now, I typically use them to show people an easy way to develop their own custom home pages. Having had the discussion with the developer today, that's not what they actually intended it to be used for. They intended it to be used for an easy way to collect your favorite reports, no matter what it is. So it's really interesting to have that discussion. And whilst that's essentially the same thing, the sentiment is very slightly different. And if you were to then enhance that further, then you could end up enhancing a sentiment that people don't necessarily connect with. So anyway, it was just amazing. I mean, that's geek talk right there. But it was really cool. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Please do that again. In fact, I'd love a Tableau lab to be online and just constantly having stuff in beta and alpha and just doing stuff all the time. I know Zens do this, but I'd love that to be like a thing for the wider the community as well. I think that would be awesome. Last but not least, the sessions today, I had to change my schedule a little bit. So sometimes you choose a schedule and you realize, oh, no, this isn't just right. So I basically halfway through the day I just changed my schedule. So I changed my first session anyway because I had to, and then the second one I changed. I just went to a different talk altogether. Had lunch. Then in the afternoon I skipped a session to go to the Tableau lab because that seemed more valuable. I'd actually seen what I needed to see that made the second session not so worthwhile. And then having had that session, I basically spent the afternoon talking to devs. That was more valuable to me. And then last but not least, I got to see Viz Alerts. And Viz Alerts was great. So all in all, I got to see quite a few cool things. Really, really loved it. So amazing day. Wasn't quite as good as day one. The keynote and devs on stage really, really topped the list. But given there was a keynote, and in terms of the data night out, Tableau nailed it. In terms of the Tableau labs, you nailed it. In terms of the devs, they nailed it. Just everything came together today. Loved it. Not quite as good as day one. The keynote and devs on stage, especially devs on stage, was awesome. But what else can you ask for?